Well, it's quite a sight, and it's one that we should get a little more used to. The Khalifa International Stadium in Doha, and you can see 70% humidity. We're looking forward tonight to the best team in the world, Spain, against the World Cup semi-finalists from Uruguay. Quite a spicy international friendly live here on ESPN. We can take a look at the Spanish side now. There's a first cap for Cesar Azpilicueta of Chelsea and a 100th cap for the captain tonight, Carles Puyol of Barcelona. No great surprises aside from that, with Xavi and Xabi Alonso both unavailable through injury. And when you look at the Uruguay side, there's one thing, I know it's an obvious thing to say, that catches your eye. The strike partnership, two of the informed strikers in Europe right now. It will be Luis Suarez alongside Edinson Cavani. Oscar Tavares under a little bit of pressure at the moment. Uruguay are not going well at all in those South American World Cup qualifiers. A couple of key games to come in March after heavy defeats by Bolivia and Argentina. And tonight has just a little more resonance than it otherwise might have done for Tavares. Uruguay a side that are badly in need of a lift. Of course, there is interest as well on that Spanish bench. I'm sure a lot of you have come to love Isco of Malaga. Well, he could get his first cap, the 20-year-old tonight. And Mario Suarez of Atletico Madrid is in the same position as well. I'm sure that at some point, from what you read, we will see Isco, and that will be an exciting nod towards Spain's future. Well, we are just about ready at this Khalifa International Stadium, which has actually been open since 1976. It's just come to prominence rather more lately. The 2011 Asian Cup final held here when Japan beat Australia. I think we're just about ready. I know that alongside me, Tony Dorigo's ready anyway for two high-class sides here, Tony.
Most certainly, and I'm excited to look forward to seeing some wonderful players on the show. And here's one with the ball already, and you're right, it's interesting. You've got Cavani and Suarez, two of the best strikers around, yet playing against the Spanish side without any strikers, so not sure which is the right way to go. But on present, certainly history, it must be the Spanish way, exactly. Which is unusual, but when you've got really good players like Suarez and Cavani, interesting to see how they team up, but the conditions look absolutely perfect. Certainly a showpiece friendly, but you're right, I think it's important as well for Tavares to make sure his side do well and really gain some momentum. That's what these friendlies are all about, just to get Christmas out the way with, get your squad together and look forward to the qualifiers you've got coming up.
And of course, you can rightly bill this as the World and European champions against the South American champions, Uruguay winning the 2011 Copa America. You might have seen with us here on ESPN. They are, as the saying goes, no mugs. They're just struggling in those qualifiers. It looks bad for them, 5th place, but they are currently level on points with Venezuela and Chile. Things can change pretty rapidly. And they have a home game against a dreadful Paraguay side, and then they go to Chile. In the next couple of matches, they will, you feel, be somewhere towards decisive. As Nicolas Lodero gives it away. And no matter who's playing for Spain, as long as it's somewhere near the first team, they always are an absolute joy. There's Iniesta. Azpilicueta. It's a good strong challenge by Caceres, who's been getting some game time recently with Juventus. The absence of Giorgio Chiellini. Early touch there for Juan Mata. Well, it's good strong running. With the challenge just in time from Caceres. Being played at a decent tempo, good pace so far, which is always a good sign in the early stages of a friendly match.
No, it certainly is, and sometimes these friendlies can die after a certain period of time, but I think it is important for Uruguay. I mean, it's a big fixture for them, playing against the world champs, just to see how good they are. And of course, what we do know against Spain, they will keep the ball well. So you've got to play at a high tempo to try and get that ball back nice and early and play your own game.
What a great run in behind by Luis Suarez, and Puyol, within 3 minutes of his 100th cap, had to make an important challenge. Showed good pace there to get back as well. Great play from Uruguay. Gives them real hope.
I'm surprised he could have got back. I think Suarez there, I thought he was away. He should have done certainly is cut right across instead. As you can see, he's certainly onside. Azpilicueta's playing him on. He's a yard ahead, but that first touch took it back towards Puyol, who gets back really well. 100 caps, very impressive indeed.
Now Mata, and you can see from that picture there the strikerless Spanish system. There's Pedro. Since the start of Euro 2008, Spain have dominated possession in every single game, apart from the final of that tournament against Germany, when they had the higher percentage of the ball. But that is an astonishing statistic. It's not so astonishing when you watch them play, I suppose.
I think also for Godin and Lugano, the two centre-halves, but they've never come across anything like this before. No one to pick up. So sometimes the urgency there is to go out and try and pick someone up. That leaves a hole. They can't do that. So interesting to see how they actually cope tonight.
Slightly late challenge there on Santi Cazorla. Of course, all of these moments in these friendlies will be watched by the relevant manager, Arsene Wenger, with heart in mouth there momentarily. Wasn't Mata's best. It's interesting that Uruguay have already shown they're not just here to defend or anything like that and try and get a confidence-boosting clean sheet. They want to come and attack, and they've already had that moment through Suarez. Here is Cazorla. What a job he has done. And what a reign he has had. And it's ongoing. Still a lot more for Del Bosque to achieve as Mata's bundled, is he? No. I must admit, I thought there was a nudge there, but the referee wants to try and keep this flowing. Always have that rather strange atmosphere at friendly matches played in venues, I suppose, that aren't used to teams of this stature. I know Brazil and Argentina and England have played here, but still getting used to the rhythms of football. You often hear cheers in the wrong places.
Well, I think they'll certainly get spoilt tonight by this Spanish side, because just watching them knock the ball around effortlessly, you sometimes wonder, well, how can they have so much control? How can they dominate possession? Well, just a wonderful side, technically gifted, every single player, and as you can see, I think Uruguay have a different problem certainly tonight. Must be patient, make sure when they do get the ball, they do play their own stuff, and you're right, they're not here to defend, but of course they have to get the right structure defensively. When they win it back, go and express themselves. They certainly have two players up front that can cause the Spanish defence some problems.
And you get very tired chasing them and chasing the ball, and that is one of the stresses they put on you, this Spanish side. They wear you down. See it time and again. Iniesta had made a forward run, but little flick just didn't quite find him. Cavani has been short of service so far. His Napoli have got a huge game on Saturday night against Lazio. Wonder what Matsari makes of all this. Having said that, he's very much used to it. Here's Cavani again. Really notable aspect of his game is the fact that he's prepared to drop so deep to pick up possession and get involved. Attracted a decent crowd here, albeit a slightly quiet one. Feels like the volume's been turned down. Must be a quite strange game to play, and here's Iniesta. A crowd like him being on the ball. Now Pedro. Lovely feet from Fabregas. And it's Azpilicueta. Well, it was nearly the first shooting opportunity, and now it is from Busquets. Fabregas, who had the hook on the edge of the area. Busquets with the drive, and a decent save, but not a dramatic one from Muslera.
Well, you need to get behind it. It was a good strike, certainly going in. Good movement on the ball there. Azpilicueta got forward well on the right-hand side. That's what they do ever so well, Spain. When they start possession in these sorts of areas now, the confidence in the fullbacks they have to move forward is knowing the ball's not going to get given away. All of a sudden, they have an overload one side, and off they go. I mean, playing against them must be very difficult because these are top international players, the Uruguayans. They've won the Copa South America, and of course, they're not used to having to chase and chase and chase. Well, tonight, they're going to have to get used to it.
Iniesta. Lovely subtle change of direction. Gets it back from Jordi Alba. Here's Azpilicueta. Immediately put up the hand. You certainly can't complain about a bobble on a pitch like the one we've got tonight.
It's like a billiard table, isn't it? It's absolutely perfect. And that was disappointing. That wasn't the sort of cross. Need to get his foot around it and whip it in.
Tabarez, the Uruguayan coach since 2006. Very much a venerated figure in Uruguayan football. And that's why someone like him gets more time than other coaches might do, even in the passionate world of South American football. This referee is giving nothing. Waves that one away. And he gives that. Spain not overly happy. And a little wry smile from Pedro.
Well, he was stopped before by fully arms and everything else from going past Pereira on occasion. Just gets it against him, but Pedro on that left-hand side. And certainly, I think of Mata on the other side, Fabregas, no real out-and-out striker, so they're the ones going to interchange. Those will keep their positions, but when they get the ball, you'll see them come off the line, make space for the fullbacks, and it really is wonderful movement. But the movement's allowed simply because of the very good possession that Spain have.
When you take a look at the Uruguayan squad, I think we can take for granted how good the Spanish squad is, even without some very, very big names. You do realise why they shouldn't be struggling in those qualifiers. On the bench tonight, the likes, albeit towards the end of his career, of Diego Forlan, Gaston Ramirez of Southampton, Arevalo from Palermo, Pereira, who's done well with Inter this season, as well as Gargano. And that's just a few of them. Very, very strong. Two decent La Liga players on the bench as well, in Seba Fernandez and Gonzalo Castro, to give forward options, but they don't really need forward options with Suarez and Cavani. There's Busquets for Iniesta. There's Pedro. It just seems so effortless, doesn't it, the keeping of possession. Right on cue, they give it away.
But that's the problem Uruguay have. They keep giving it straight back to them. So what they do need to do is get their own passes in, move themselves further up the pitch. Instead, they're getting camped in on the edge of their 18-yard box and giving it back to Spain.
Cazorla for Pedro. He was expecting the run behind him from Jordi Alba.
And so with the crowd, by the sounds of things, they were going louder and louder when they got into the box, but it really is lovely to see. Excellent possession. And even they can get on the different wavelengths at times.
I mentioned Spanish players who were absent. Of course, no place in this squad for Fernando Torres or indeed for Michu. That's a good bustling run from Christian Rodriguez, but he was stopped in his tracks in the end. And now it's Mata for Cazorla. This time he does see it as a foul. Chasing back was Diego Perez.
So he was tackled from behind. And Cazorla, so I think he's a wonderful player as well. Doing great guns at Arsenal. He's joined by another Spaniard, Monreal now, the left back. You can see the style that certainly Arsenal play for the Spanish players. It's easier to fit into.
Yeah, Nacho Monreal, who is in this squad. Fine acquisition for Arsenal, no question of that. Now Suarez. You could see Cavani was lurking for the first time in the penalty area. 18 goals this season in Serie A, he is absolutely deadly. There's Mata. Game just starting to open up a little. Busquets. A little bit of space here for Juan Mata. And now Cesc Fabregas to hit one, and it's dropped! Swerved in the air, but that's no excuse. And Fernando Muslera has a horror moment. Head in hands time for Tabarez. Spain lead by a goal to nil. Scored by Cesc Fabregas, assisted by Muslera.
It's an awful mistake. It really is. The goalkeeper, unfortunately, he's let that one slip straight through his hands. Cesc is laughing because he knows he's got away with that one. It's a long way out. 25, 30 yards, he's let fly. Muslera got his body behind the first one. That one there really is awful. Hands up. They're not together, his body's not there. Yes, it moves from left to right, but even so, really should be stopping that one quite comfortably.
Yeah, but even so, you should be reading the flight of the ball, shouldn't you? I mean, it swerves, but you can see where Fabregas has hit it. See which way it's going to swerve. Infield from Caceres. It wasn't a bad strike by Christian Rodriguez. And if we've learnt anything from the last couple of minutes, it's worth having a crack. But all the planning you do as a coach, Tony, you know, you set them up, you know you're playing the world and European champions, and then this happens.
A bread and butter save, that's what it should be. Yes, it moves to what, a yard or two at most, but he's got that in his hands, or so he thought, and it slipped through. It's a real shame as well, because that certainly is going to haunt him for a long time to come. Against the world champions, makes a poor mistake.
It's not been a great week for Uruguayan goalkeepers after Cagliari against Roma and Goicoechea.
It would be hard to beat Goicoechea, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out in my head which is the worst mistake. I think it's Goicoechea, because it wasn't even a shot on goal. It was a cross that was drifting away. But neither of them have covered themselves in glory. The Olympia keeper Martin Silva's on the bench tonight. He must be fancying it. All around him aren't exactly pleading their case. That's a good ball though towards Cavani, who might just be in, and if he'd got a touch he was in, because he got there. He had the beating of them for pace.
Oh, that's a good chance, isn't it? He certainly did. This time he did get the right side of Puyol, cut across, and just that first touch wasn't quite what he needed. But that's what they give you. That's what strikers, I think, give you. Over the top, just that opportunity to play a quality ball through the middle. Certainly in Cavani, he is quick.
Well, the great ones can turn nothing into something, and Suarez and Cavani are both capable of that. Although you could argue Fabregas has done just that tonight. Spain have a corner. Chance to further test out the goalkeeper. Here's Cavani, though.
It's in between Ramos and Puyol. It's a straight ball. Just unfortunate. And it bounced. It was a long way. He was running at pace as well. Nearly. That will certainly give Uruguay some hope.
Yeah, Victor Valdez getting a chance with the injury to Iker Casillas. And it's Juan Mata with the out-swinging corner here. Bit uncertain, the defending there from Uruguay. Here's Andres Iniesta. It might fall here for Puyol. What a moment that would have been. Oh, his eyes must have lit up there. But now it's Caceres. Really good game, this. And how about that for a pass with Suarez on the end of it? But an important piece of chasing back there in the end from Jordi Alba.
He needed to get back, didn't he? But what a ball that was from Caceres. He's beat Cazorla initially, but outside of the right boot. And Alba just gets there. Right at the end of his boot. It's a good break, and that's what happened when Spain push forward. They can win it back early and then clearly get it forward at pace. They will get some chances. Almost since the goal, went in. The reply has almost come.
It's Luis Suarez to take the corner. Headed back in by Rodriguez. Valdez just fumbled. Referee decides that's a foul.
I think he must have been miles offside, surely. I think when the corner comes across, Spain then push up. As you can see, as the ball goes up, Cavani is at least 2 or 3 yards. It's good defending.
Diego Lugano just has a little word to our referee. Spain lead by 1-0, thanks to a curious moment of goalkeeping from Fernando Muslera of Galatasaray. Spilled Cesc Fabregas' shot. And turned round to see the nightmare. Gone into the back of the net. Azpilicueta. Now Cavani. Definite foul there. The referee is starting to just pull these things up.
And certainly Cavani working back, wins the ball back, and that's a clip of the heels. But for a goalkeeper, it's difficult as well. After you've just made a mistake, unfortunately, like an outfield play, you can run around and try and get some tackles in and do something about it. But a keeper, you've just got to stand there and wait. So the next time it comes near you, hopefully, do the right thing.
Here's Alvaro Gonzalez. He'll be up against Cavani on Saturday night in that Lazio-Napoli game. He's been a really important member of that improbable Lazio success, and he won it back again there. And oh, that's a strong challenge by Busquets. It's a yellow card as well. It's going to be anyway.
It was a firm challenge, but certainly the ball went in the direction of the challenge, which makes me think he did get the ball. As you can see there,
He did.
he took the ball quite cleanly. It was a good challenge. Unfortunately, it then collected the man afterwards, but for me, that's an excellent tackle.
Do you look at that as an ex-player and say, that's an excellent tackle, he shouldn't have been booked, or, given the way things are now, he should know not to make a tackle like that?
Well, I think because it's certainly, I suppose, deemed dangerous in this day and age, then exactly right. It's are you out of control? I don't think so. I thought he got the ball absolutely cleanly, but I think now you've got to refrain from that sort of tackle.
It's curled in by Suarez, and dangerously close to bouncing off an arm there, I thought. There's Lodero, but he's just run out of room. Oh no, he hasn't. Seems clearly out of play, and he's given it away. Now it's Spain on the counter with Cazorla. Pedro ahead of him. Someone needs to get up in support. And in the end, they just managed to swamp the Barcelona man.
I'm sure the ball's out, but maybe not. It just played on, but don't they break ever so quickly as well? As soon as Uruguay then get forward, space is there for Spain, and they really do make very good use of them indeed. Well, the pace is up now, isn't it? And that's good. I think the first goal as well has made a difference. Uruguay have to come out now and show what they're about. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, certainly are. Here's Suarez. Puyol just standing in the way. Now Lodero. Cavani back there working again. Oh, that's given away. Now Mata. Little look up, and that time couldn't quite pick out the bottom corner, says Fabregas. Good muscular presence down that left-hand side. Christian Rodriguez. Now Cavani. It's a really good challenge after excellent running from Maxi Pereira. Plenty of live football coming up here on ESPN and ESPN HD as we just see this replay again of Mata and Fabregas combining. Saturday 11:15 AM, the Clydesdale Bank Premier League live. Inverness against Caledonian Thistle. Excuse me, Inverness Caledonian Thistle against Celtic. Saturday 11:15 AM, don't scream at the telly, sorry. And Barclays Premier League, Southampton against Manchester City, that's easier. Saturday at 4:30 PM. Guess who doesn't watch much Scottish football?
I want to see that first game.
What, Inverness against Caledonian Thistle? Yeah, two cracking sides by all accounts. More to do with an inability to read than lack of knowledge of Scottish football. I think it's Spain 1, Uruguay 0 here. And Muslera, well, it's the error that separates them. Of course, if you just joined us and haven't seen it, the goalkeeper dropped one in, I'm afraid, from a Cesc Fabregas shot.
Certainly did. 25 yards out, straight at him. Went through his fingers, but...
There's Cavani. Well, if you watch Napoli a lot, you'll know that he can score from there. It might seem like an overly flamboyant thing to have done, but when you've got his ability. I mean, in all competitions this season, Tony, he is a goal a game. Since August, you know, it's frightening.
It is, and very impressive. And certainly he's much coveted by the top clubs around Europe. He stayed with Napoli. He has been their main man, along with Hamsik, who's feeding him the assists. Certainly is good, but tonight interesting to see him against this Spanish outfit, see how he operates. And I think, as you can see, the game progressing as well. We've got Pereira, the right back, is really supporting as well. So Uruguay finding their feet, getting into this game, because sometimes it's easy to think, right, we're playing against a very difficult side, you stand off them a little bit and you watch them play. Well, they did do that for the first 5-10 minutes, but now they're very much in this game.
Little coming together there, but Mata comes away with the ball. Just given straight back to Edinson Cavani. Yeah, apart from that one mistake, Uruguay have more than held their own here. Here's Lodero. A big game themselves coming up next month, Spain. After France snatched that late equaliser in Madrid, they have to go and play France away from home. Now Mata. So this game, important warm-up for them. They've got a game against Finland as well.
Good challenge, good ball as well. Aspilicueta through the matter, but Godin read it well.
And inevitably, almost, they take it short. Now it's swung in and touched on! And he has a goal to mark his 100th appearance for his country. Or does he? The rueful smile tells you the flag was up. I have to say, from his reaction, I thought he'd looked over and was celebrating, but the flag went up to deny Carles Puyol.
What a finish it was.
Another look, it was a great finish.
On the centre-half, it's the flick. As soon as he's touched it, he's just half a yard offside. So that isn't the finish of a centre-half, but maybe it is for a Spanish centre-half.
Yeah. It's a strange reaction, wasn't it? So still 1-0. Puyol's had a couple of moments in the game now. Here's Fabregas, who has the only goal. And now Caceres. It's just the pressure, buckled under the pressure. Maxi Pereira of Benfica now. Again, no room at all.
And that's difficulty, because certainly Uruguay, they're not used to just booting it up the field. They want to try and play their way out. That's what they can normally do. But when you've got so many red shirts around you, you eventually buckle to it, you whack it up the field, give it straight back to them, and they come at you again.
Yeah, he's a fullback who likes to hustle and bustle, as were you, but you must watch this and think there's just no room to do any of that. It's an effort to get the ball at your feet in your opponent's half. Forward by Suarez. Flag stayed down, but that might have been because Cavani didn't get on the end of it, or had he timed it right?
Well, it looked offside to me, but the referee's assistant didn't move his flag whatsoever. Spanish players were remonstrating.
No, he's on.
He's actually right, isn't he? Oh, and then Cavani, just a touch again. That's two opportunities now he's had.
It's a sign that they can hurt Spain as the referee waves that one away from Ladero. Still a danger though, Cavani. Caceres. Oh, great little turn and finish! Christian Rodriguez draws Uruguay level. And you have to say they've deserved it. Lovely build-up play, great first touch. And the world and European champions are in a game here, I think.
Game on. And it's straight through the middle of the Spanish defence yet again. We've already seen a couple of direct balls really have pierced the two centre-halves, and yet again Rodriguez, doesn't he take it well? He really does. Spins with the 1 foot, then finishes. Not in the corner. However, it's gone under Valdez, and that's good enough. Puyol can't get there. And you're right, they've deserved it, because they've had 1 or 2 opportunities, dangerous opportunities in the central areas. They've just missed out. This time, they scored.
Lovely moment as well for a Spanish-based player. Certainly won't hurt. Aspilicueta. Busquets. Always interesting to see how the great teams react in adversity.
Spain, I suppose, drawing is adversity. They're not hugely behind. They've conceded now, and you're right, let's just see what they do. But you know what? They'll do exactly what they always do, because that's the beauty of this side. Doesn't matter if they're winning, losing, you keep watching them. You won't be able to tell what the score is, because they will always play the same way. They have great belief. This is the right way to do it. And they've been proven right for a number of years.
Here's Mata. Oh, it falls back for the drive by Cazorla. And Suarez allowed to continue after that challenge. Suarez and Cavani here up against 3. And he's found his teammate, and Cavani's touch let him down. Still alive though, still Cavani. Throws himself to the floor, and I think the referee is absolutely right, as he was with the Ladero one just before the goal. But more worrying moments for Spain.
Certainly was, but it's just through the middle again. What an opportunity it was. It's a good tackle. He goes down, but Cavani there. He's frustrated because that's another bad touch that he's had. This is a good challenge from Ramos, no problems at all with that one. But he's more frustrated with himself because he knows a good touch in front of him there. He had a clear sight at goal. Great play from Suarez to set him up. But he's let the chance go begging again.
But again, they'll be confident. Yes, Cavani has not done the right thing on a couple of occasions, but they've proved they can really hurt Spain.
No, but players like Cavani, what they always do is put themselves in that position time and time again. They'll always back themselves. He's confident. He's done it once, twice, 3 times, but he'll still go there into those right positions, and he knows he'll get one. But from Spain's point of view, that's 3 opportunities. Of course, they can't afford too many more of that. Every time they go forward, Uruguay can hit them quickly through the middle. Seems to be a soft spot they've got.
Yeah, there's a vulnerability there. PK on the bench, by the way. There's Mata. Aspilicueta. Now Busquets. Just a fantastic touch there. Almost a pirouette from Jordi Alba, and they've worked some space now for Aspilicueta. Seeing a lot of the ball, the man on his debut here, Cesar Aspilicueta. Now Ladero to accelerate. I don't think Suarez is going to get there, no. Puyol just tidying up.
But again, that's their chance, isn't it? See Spain playing on that halfway line. Once they have good possession, they push up to that halfway line, and the space is over and behind them. Clever passes. Uruguay have been in.
Cazorla. Now Pedro. We know Cazorla can hurt teams from long range, but I don't see this Spanish side shooting from range too often, although that's where the goal came from. It was nothing beautifully constructed. Given away, and this is Fabregas, and this is Mata. This time Muslera manages to block the strike.
He does, but it's Godin again that gives the ball away. Muslera will be delighted to finally get his body right behind that one. Good strike going in. This time, a good save.
Yeah, because he hasn't really had a chance to touch the ball or hold on to one since the goal, and that's a measure of how well Uruguay have done. Really impressed by them. I think Cazorla awarded that free kick.
Well, it looked to the referee, wasn't it? And Suarez trying to get him, just clipped him from behind. And you're right, you imagine all the managers now just looking on, looking at their players, making sure they get through the 90 minutes unscathed, or even better, just 45, and then get them off. And that's a difficulty, because you've got Champions League coming up next week as well. It is not an easy time to play an international, but when you're here, you do it properly, and certainly this game has been played at great pace.
Yeah, they like Iniesta with the tricks here. Now Pedro. Azpilicueta. Good challenge though, as Cazorla wanted a little too long, but one back. It was great work by Fabregas. Was Mata just pulled to the ground there? One or two of these players are playing as if they know they're not going to play the 90 minutes, by the way. I think Cavani might be aware of that. He's been absolutely everywhere. Spain happy as they always are to build again from the back. One thing Uruguay will be well aware of is the Spanish habit of hitting teams late. They do it so often, and it's not by mistake. They pass teams into both mental and physical submission. Of course, the substitutions which are likely to come may make a difference to that. Good again from Alvaro Gonzalez. Someone always has to take responsibility to try and break up the passing, and it was him that time. Here's Suarez. Didn't like that at all, Fabregas. It was a bit of a lunge from Diego Godin.
That's a poor challenge. From behind, he's given the ball away 2 or 3 times, and that is dangerous.
That's not a friendly challenge, is it?
If Busquets was booked for his challenge, that's exactly the same, if not worse. No, you're right. There is no friendly challenge here. They may shake hands, but it was a little naughty. I think what Uruguay actually have done quite well is that when they have been defending, they've got back in their structure pretty well. When they then go to close down, they're from a strength of numbers from behind. What you can't do with teams like Spain, or teams that keep possession very well, you can't individually go flying in. Once you're beaten, then unfortunately your team then is exposed. So on the whole, Uruguay haven't done that. They've tried to get back in, and sometimes they let Spain have it in a certain area, then get back in, and off they go from there.
I don't know if that was a shot. With him you never know, and with him you rarely criticise. I mentioned the strength of Uruguay's squad just for your interest in terms of what Spain have on the bench tonight. You'll know what they have in general, but a small matter of David Silva and David Villa. Here's Cazorla. That's excellent challenge in the end by Caceres. Yeah, those two, along with Negredo, Isco I mentioned, and Mario Suarez. Not bad in terms of options. Nacho Monreal.
It's Cavani trying to work his way back. It really does work hard. I think you're probably right. 45 minutes is just about right, because he really has worked his socks off left and right, chasing back.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, he works very hard for Napoli, but he doesn't pop up at left back, which is what he's done tonight. I think he knows he's playing 60 or maybe, as you say, 45.
Well, I think also they're playing 4-4-2, but what is important, they can't have four in midfield. At times you have to get one dropping back to help out, because Spain will then just pick you off. So maybe at times they've told Cavani to get back or Suarez to drop back in just to fill those gaps a bit more.
Well, Tavares will think his side is morally 1-0 up, because the Spanish goal came from such a strange mistake. Very happy, I think, with the way that they've shown up here. This is a team that should have no bother qualifying. It's Pedro. Now Puyol. Forward by Fabregas, but Pedro's run was blocked. As we move into the final minutes of what's been a very, very entertaining first half.
Well, that's been good, but there, I think it's Lugano, is it, down there? He knew exactly what he was doing, getting in the way of Pedro. There, you're not going past there, take that. I love the way actually when Lugano goes down, he holds his own face as well. But of course, that's what happens, the quick passing nature. Pedro was off in behind. Has a word with him. He knows what it is.
Towers over him, doesn't he? The size of Diego Lugano, the Malaga man. Now then, this could be a test for Muslera, having dropped one in from a Fabregas strike. Can Fabregas get it on target again to torture the Uruguayan goalkeeper? Mata there too, Ramos as well for power. Just a minute. Don't forget the half-time highlights, which will include the Muslera mistake, which you may want to see if you're that way inclined. Mata steps over it, it's Ramos who holds his head because he realises how close it was to just skimming over the top of that wall.
Well, let's see, the Muslera certainly was on the left-hand side. He wasn't expecting Ramos to take it. Probably like us, thought Fabregas, the last one, was going to go and take it. A little bit higher. Muslera could have been in bother.
Busquets for Iniesta. It's just lovely play from him. And that might just be it, and is. Well, there are friendly matches and friendly matches, and this one in Doha so far has really delivered. Spain took the lead in strange fashion when Fabregas's long-range effort was fumbled in by Muslera. But Christian Rodriguez got an equaliser for an excellent Uruguay side. Half-time, it's 1-1.